Hello, Aries, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of December 28th through January 3rd. And during that time, we have a first quarter moon that comes in on the 28th. So we're in that energy right here on the first day. First quarter, you can feel a little impulsive, impatient, and maybe your mind's a little bit active. So keep that in mind. We then move into the waxing gibbous for the rest of the week, and that allows for a deeper understanding and outlook, a good time to act on your intuition and your introspection. It's a really good time for planning, preparation, and executing those things that we've started on the beginning of the cycle at the new moon. So also, let me be the first to wish you a very happy new year. I hope you're getting through the holiday season because it is almost, we've got this week and then things kind of slow down, right? During the month of January, they always do for me anyway. So, and I will get back to longer readings after the first of the year when I feel like we all have a little bit more time. So, this will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Aries. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: a win-win outcome is forecast. All right, let's see what the Aries Collective has going on during this New Year's week. All right, let's get right into this. Aries, December 28th through January 3rd. A win-win outcome is forecast. Your overall present energy, Queen of Pentacles. So definitely sitting on top of your material world, feeling like you have a really good understanding of the flow of things, how things are. If you're like me, you're trying to rearrange things with Christmas gifts and things that come in, and kind of dealing with a lot of material stuff this week. A lot of times down goes the tree if you put up a Christmas tree. And you kind of rearrange things and just start to get your house back to normal. So that's definitely an energy that you're sitting in. Your current situation this year, you might be getting ready for a party. Maybe you're hosting the New Year's party this year, so you're getting ready for a celebration, and you're really trying to be on top of those material things. Do you have to do the shopping and the party prep and the food prep and all that sort of thing? So I certainly feel that energy. They're coming in with that. At the root of your situation is, do you have the strength to do it? Again, we're almost through this holiday season. I know it just seems like a lot sometimes, but just get through it with a smile on your face. Do the best that you can, and I'm sure everyone around you appreciates that. And don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help too. That's the other thing is, I'm sure if you're having friends over, I guarantee you none of them mind bringing something to contribute to the party. So don't feel like you have to do everything yourself, Aries. Get some help also. In your recent past here, Ace of Swords. So you might be thinking, who had this big bright idea to have this party? Like I said, if you're hosting the party, whatever's going on there, but you're coming into this with some sort of mental breakthrough or aha moment that you've recently had. And I love the coloring. I mean, look how yellow and nice the coloring of this reading is so far. Let's hope it remains that way. What is on your mind this week is the Ace of Wands. So lots of aces coming out, new things for you, big yeses from the universe. Excuse me, you might have to speak up with something anytime I get a little frog in my throat during a reading. It makes me think there might be something that you do need to speak up on. So where an Ace of Swords is kind of it's a new mental breakthrough, or it could also be new communication. And maybe it's just a new way that you're communicating. But what you're thinking about this week is this Ace of Wands. And that's kind of a big yes or a new passion. And this maybe is something that's come to you over the holiday season. Maybe you got into a book and it inspired you somehow to take up a new hobby or do something. But there's something that's recently coming in and it's really on your mind right now. And it's something that you really have. It's like a new passion, something that you have a newfound energy for. What is just ahead of you this week is the Six of Cups. So feeling a little bit maybe sentimental, and it could be that you're just around friends and you just let your friends know, you open your heart a little bit. Hey, I really appreciate you being my friend. We've spent this last year together, looking forward to better times this year. All the things that you might be planning, and you pick up the phone and you call old friends that you haven't talked to in a while just to wish them a happy new year. But I feel like, this can kind of be that card of thinking about the past, thinking about, you're enjoying the moment, but it can also be the card of that sentimental feeling of your past also. In your advice position here is the Three of Wands. So you may be thinking about some sort of travel or some venture that's coming up for you. So keep that in mind, and really, that being in your advice position is to go ahead and dream about that. Dream about what are you going to travel with? Where are you going to travel to in this new year? Are you planning trips right now? Planning vacation times? Planning some getaways? So think about that. Are there little weekends that you want to do here or there? Again, we're in the moon energy of that kind of planning situation, and also when we're getting to the new year, we're all kind of doing those resolutions and resolving to do things that we want to do in the coming year. What is beyond your control this week is the Chariot. So you may be thinking about a move. Maybe you're inspired by something that's coming up to think, yeah, I might make, and by move, I mean like kind of a major move in your life. And you might be starting to gather some information about some little change. Of course, again, it's time for resolutions. Maybe you're thinking about starting a new exercise routine after the first of the year. So, after New Year's, all those resolutions kind of come to fruition. And, sometimes it can be hard to stick to those. So make sure you're thinking about things that you feel like you can stick to, and keep in mind it only takes 2 weeks to change a habit. So if you can keep it up for 2 weeks, you might have that thing licked, whatever it might be. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid, is the Queen of Wands. So, is it your secret desire to be in this Queen of Wands, which is understanding this passion, maybe this new thing that's coming about? I doubt if you're trying to avoid that. You might be trying to understand something that you're feeling newly passionate about, and really asking yourself why. I've done that sometimes, where I'll get into some little hobby or something, and I think, why? Is this important? I do this a lot when I'm at my sewing machine and I'm sewing something that seems a little silly, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And I almost have to remind myself, oh, because it's fun and relaxing, and that's really the only reason. So, it's just my personality to feel like I always have to be productive. So, sometimes you're doing a thing just because it is fun and it is relaxing, and that's a good thing for you to be doing for yourself. In your outcome position here, Aries, is we have the Hermit. So this could come, I would say, at the end of the week. Maybe this is after the party. You are going to take a couple of days to kind of just hermit, keep to yourself. Probably, if you're like me, I love being around people, but I do love my hermit time afterwards. But that's always fun for me. I always feel like if we do host a big party, it's fun and it's crazy and we have a great time. After, though, those days after that are a couple of days and it's a little quiet, but there's lots of food. I don't have to cook. There's leftovers hanging around, and everything's clean because we cleaned house for the party. So I do really enjoy after party time and that hermiting, and like just curling up with a good book or a movie. So make sure that you're paying attention to yourself. And if you are kind of in the mix with people and having a good time, take that time after for that introspection, and just really that rest and relaxation of being a hermit for a little bit of time. That's just fine. What is hidden from you this week, Aries? Is anything action wise in the area of pentacles. So I doubt if you're going to be putting a lot of energy towards work or towards the gathering pentacles right now. We're kind of through that phase of, we just got through Christmas, and that's always a lot. Again, you're managing things that have to do with the material world, but we're not taking any big actions on it. So Aries, I just want to say I wish you the best. Happy New Year. We're going to get a final word here. I really do thank you for being here with me. I know I'm trying to rush through these readings a little bit because I know we're all busy, and just the whole holiday season is a little bit rushed, even for me. But I do want to say that I do appreciate you being here, and I want you to have the most happy new year. Final message for you here is to look forward. What a great message for the new year and for making those resolutions. And think about it. Take a little bit of time this week to just kind of dream and think about what it is that you are looking forward to for the next year. I mean, if you're like me, I'm already thinking, oh, we're past the solstice, which to me is that big halfway marker point between the next solstice, which is my favorite one because the weather's much warmer. So I'm like, if I can get over the hump of that, And once I do feel better. I feel like, okay, now I can start thinking about spring and things like that that are on the way, spring and summer. All right, let's see what Aries needs to do in the way of self-care. And the card for you is Passion, which is interesting since you've got this Ace of Wands on your mind here. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. So go ahead and do it, even if it's something like I said. Sometimes I'll do things and I think, why am I doing this? It seems a little silly, but it's fun and it's something you desire to do. And sometimes we just do a thing because it is relaxing and it's fun, and we're supposed to be here living life and having a good time. So Aries, thanks so much for being here. I want you to have the happiest new year. Please take care of yourself. Be careful, have a good time, and make sure you get a little bit of that hermit time in after the new year arrives. So thank you so much for being here. And I will see you back next week where we'll take our time a little bit more on the readings and get into some longer descriptions. But thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.